Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and this weekend my wife is making me do yard work, and I hate yard work. I am not a Mr. Fix-It. I don't like to work in the yard. I like to do things where I'm using my brain, but I don't like to use my hands. I don't like to work outside. Maybe it's because when I was a kid, my dad was the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel. He was a mega perfectionist. And so if he said we were working in the yard for the day and you think that that meant, say, an hour, the work was never done because there's always something else that he can organize or something else that he can make better. And maybe that's what burned me on working in the yard, but I don't like it. To this day, my dad says that, actually, he told me last week he wants to help me work in the yard. What I would like to do, and I know he's probably listening to this, but what I would like to do is ask him to work in the yard and act like I'm going to help and then let him do it. But I know that's not how it's going to go down. It's going to be like a flashback to childhood. Okay, I got lots of stuff for you today, even though I'm late as I can be on it. So here we go. Watch this. This was, I forgot to cover this yesterday. This was Gary Gensler with Maria Bartiromo.
And yet the regulatory framework is still unknown. Tell me about the regulatory framework as you see it developing for crypto.
Well, I think parts of it are quite clear. If you're offering something to the public and they're looking at it to try to make a profit based on your efforts, that's most likely a security, and the Supreme Court's spoken about it over the decades. Come in, talk to us, get registered.
And they want to invest into Ethereum. How can, first of all, how does that work? I mean, when you guys were going to launch in February, now it's been put
right.
forth, you know?
So it's not the launch that we have. So we are going to start the Ether pre-sale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether pre-sale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether. For Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
Now, is there a big window of opportunity for people to get in, or
yes.
is there just like a one-day opportunity?
No, it's something we're thinking of. It might be 45 days, it might be 30, it might be 60 days.
Okay, so there's plenty of time.
Sort of an incremental thing, so the earlier you go in.
The earlier you get in, the better a price you get.
The Howey tested is core, 3-part test, but the Howey tested, did you give somebody money in anticipation of profits on their efforts? Now, usually there's a handful of people at the center of these XYZ project or ABC project. I'm not going to use names. There's usually a handful of entrepreneurs and technologists that in effect the investor is hoping those people do well. So that means anticipation of profits on the efforts of others. I think it's kind of just like reasonably clear. I would say very clear.
Very clear. All right. And then here's clip number 2. Now, I'm not going to play the last little portion, but it is funny to me. On Fridays, a lot of my 9-year-old often on Friday evening wants me to have what he calls music night with him. And so we sit and watch. I put on YouTube, and he and I take turns picking songs, and we watch YouTube music videos while I have my Chardonnay. And that's probably what I'll do tonight. So I was telling Maria Bartiromo here, kind of as a calling out to Maria that she needs to cover this Ethereum ICO free pass at the end with the Brooks and Dunn song. You'll all recognize it, but I'm not going to play that part because it'll be a copyright hit.
Chair, we've got a lot of questions, online places for people to trade without middlemen, raising some concerns from the Securities and Exchange Commission. I'm talking about DeFi posing risks as it essentially allows users to operate without ever taking custody of their funds. The Securities and Exchange Commission looking into potential fraud in relation to unregistered digital asset offerings. What do we need to understand about digital asset trading platforms, and where is this going in terms of the potential digital dollar?
Well, again, we focus on investor protection. We're neutral about technology, Bitcoin, and the other crypto tokens. I was honored to teach a bunch of this up at MIT before I took this job. And they're innovative technologies, but at the same time, we're not neutral about investor protection. So if somebody in a project is offering a security, they should come in, they should register, and these so-called decentralized finance platforms actually have a lot of centralization. There is a group of entrepreneurs that are running these platforms, and they should come in and, to the extent, work with us and get registered.
Our job, and we've been doing it for a long time.
So you're saying, the classic definition of security, you invest in a common enterprise with an expectation of profit. You're saying the way you look at most ICOs, they are securities.
Correct.
Are you planning now to make a clear statement on that? Because there seems to be a lot of confusion about whether anybody is going to get approved or not.
Bob, I hope I just did. If it's a security, we're regulating it.
We're even handicapping ourselves just because everything we do is completely open source. Okay. But it's, at this point, if you're investing in Ethereum, I would say you're investing in the team and the community to large.
All right, you're investing in the team. If you're investing in Ethereum, there's your common enterprise, per Gary Gensler and the SEC. Okay. The market is taking off a little bit, folks. We got a $48,000 Bitcoin. We've got, I believe, a Cardano at its all-time high. And then we've got an XRP it's hit as, I think, as high as $1.28 today. Things are happening now. Okay, and then we've got this from Dark Defender. Hi there. As we discussed on August 17th, XRP first touched $1.05, then jumped towards $1.25. So now the C corrective wave is expected. This can wick between $1 and 83 cents. After we finalize this correction, XRP will continue for wave 3, which targets $6.39. After second wave, XRP will, wave 3 targets $6.39. Now, one thing that Dark Defender talks about all the time, like right down here, he's talking about Elliott waves. And there's many people out there that say, that stuff, you can't cover that stuff. Well, I'm not a chart guy. This guy is. But to question the legitimacy of what these guys are talking about, I think it's kind of silly, and here's why. This morning, this is one of the reasons why, XRP vet diamonds to the sky. I don't know if he just discovered Hodor's blog, but he brought it up to me, so I was going to show you something. For those of you that don't know, there was a guy that went by Hodor, which is a character out of, I always draw a blank on the freaking show, the Game of Thrones from HBO. Hodor was a character in that show. Anyway, this is a blog from October 29th, 2017. Hodor was probably one of the most respected people in XRP Twitter, okay? And he wrote this. Crystal ball, XRP price speculation. So apparently he was a wild speculator too, which I like. I think it's great. But he did a section on technical analysis where he literally talks about the Elliott wave. Just wanted to point that out. So it's not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to talk about Elliott wave and XRP. Because if Hodor did it, nobody ever criticized Hodor, and they shouldn't have, because Hodor was a very smart guy, is a very smart guy. I'm assuming he's doing bigger and better things now, but this guy was well respected, is well respected, and should be. And he shows here that there's nothing wrong with speculating, and there's nothing wrong with talking about charts and Elliott waves, but there's another interesting part of this blog, and it's down here. Look at this. While Ripple employees stay away from specific point-in-time predictions with good reason, He goes, they have not shied away from conducting some ad hoc analysis on social media occasionally. David Schwartz, Ripple's chief cryptographer, now he's the CTO, wrote up a short piece on Reddit about different price possibilities for XRP given certain scenarios. His estimates ranged anywhere from $2 to $120, and he makes a very insightful statement near the end. Ripple equaling Bitcoin's current market cap sometime in the near future doesn't seem any more outrageous to me than the idea of Bitcoin selling for over $1,000 seemed to me in 2012. The market may look back on this statement as a very prescient estimate of where XRP's trajectory may lie. As XRP is adopted for actual production, usage by more and more banks, the current market capitalization of Bitcoin may be just a footnote in its path to exceeding all of these price predictions. So that is some interesting stuff. All right, moving along. Brian Brooks had tweeted this yesterday. We recently received board approval to purchase over 500 million of crypto on our balance sheet to add to our existing holdings, and we'll be investing 10% of all profit going forward in crypto. That's a pretty bullish sign, folks. These guys know things. I expect this percentage to keep growing over time as the crypto economy matures. Hopefully over time we can operate more of our business in crypto. Today it's still a mix. Jeremy Hogan right here. I paid, this is James Rule, I paid for Ripple on Link2 with XRP from Uphold Inc. Could XRP be a security, Gary Gensler, SEC? John Deaton says, I'm pretty sure that you can't use a security to buy a security, James. And then Jeremy Hogan says, if James used XRP to buy shares of Ripple, the ensuing logical void would create a black hole in our universe, sucking the SEC into an alternate reality. RizXRP, he sent me this. This is interesting because in the past, anytime I've heard Paris Hilton speak on anything that was out of her lane, which is, I guess, being an influencer, it starts to get uncomfortable because she doesn't sound like she knows what she's talking about. But surprisingly, she's talking about NFTs here and kind of sounds like she knows what she's talking about. If I can hit the refresh button here. Here we go.
Can you explain what an NFT is?
It's a non-fungible token.
Non-fungible?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is basically a digital contract that's on the blockchain. So you can basically sell anything from art to music to experiences, physical objects.
Like what could I'm not going to jump into the NFT world, but I know that Beeple is an artist. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, so awesome.
And he had maybe 300 pictures in one digital picture. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was interesting. And I go, well, I could never do that, what he did. But
yeah, you could try something, maybe sell one of your jokes or something.
I couldn't even do that to my audience tonight. Are you kidding me?
So anyway, I thought that was pretty good, but you can see that the mainstream is starting to sell NFTs, and it just so happens that you're about to be able to do it with the XRP ledger. Now, Link2, I wanted to tell you this because this is Tuesday the 24th, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Greg Kidd, who's an early investor in Coinbase, Robinhood, Link2, Uphold, he's going to be doing a Link2 Zoom call where I'm going to be in there, and I'm going to come up with questions to ask Greg Kidd, and I think there's going to be a couple more guys in there too. So I'm going to be in that if you want to watch it, and hopefully I'll ask a good question or two. Okay, I wanted to finish this up by the way, you can go to at LINQTOINC to their handle and click here to register for that. Also, they just added Uphold back to the platform, and it was $7. Now it's $7.25. I can remember this when this was 40 cents on this platform. They also added more Link2. It was lower than I can remember that when that was way down there too. Now it's at $1.90. They added Ripple, I think yesterday. It sold out like that. And then Kraken, there's still some Kraken up there as well. So check that out. I've got links. They're my sponsor. I got links to this in the description. I am planning myself in the next couple of weeks to buy some Link2 shares on the platform. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, if you have digital assets, if you're accredited and you have an account with Link2, and you're watching a lot of your crypto go up right now, if you have digital assets on Uphold, or if you wanted to put some on in your Uphold account, you can turn around and buy the private equity on Link2's platform, and they've got it connected to, they got it linked to your Uphold wallet. You can connect it to your Uphold wallet, and when you do, you can actually use your crypto to buy the private equity. I've done it myself. Soon I'm going to record a video of myself doing it so you can see it happen, but it's pretty cool. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that Link2 private equity is a very fascinating part of what all is going on here, and I am a big fan. I'm a customer, and they are a sponsor. Thanks.